Hello, it's Brian Bracken. In this video, I'm going to show you how to edit the blog post section on this page. So we'll scroll down to where that section is. It's about midway on this page. Notice where it says blog. Also, these are the blog posts. Now, this is where the blog posts show up. This is an excerpt from the blog post page. If we click on the image here or read more, we'll go to that page. Notice here's what that blog post looks like when you go to the page. Okay, let's go back now to the home page, and we're going to scroll back down to where the blog post is. This is a header. It's edited separately from this blog post section. So let's go and start editing. We need to go to Enable Visual Builder, click on that. Okay, now we're going to scroll down to where the blog post section is again. First thing we're going to do is change the title here. So blog, we're going to change that to this blog. Notice here we can change the text color, the orientation of the text. Right now it's set for center. And we're going to go down to this portion here and change it to this blog. Now we can see that it's changed on the page. What we can do is now click the check mark to save changes, and we'll go on to the blog section. So let's roll over this blog section, click on the gear so we can edit the module settings. Now we are in the blog settings. We can control the type of layout that we have. Just a note, I know I haven't mentioned this on another video. When you have a question mark, click the question mark and it'll give you a little bit of an explanation about what that section is. So this one here is toggle between the various blog layout types. So we'll just click the question mark again and it disappears. So it's between grid and full width. Full width just has one on top of the other of the blog post. So if we click on full width, you'll see the change. Notice now the picture is much bigger, the text is a little bigger, and we have them one on top of the other. Okay, so let's change that back to grid. Now what we'll look at is that you can actually include specific categories. So if you just want to have one category or all the categories, you can actually select which category you want to show up in this section for the blog posts. Then we do have other things such as the metadate format and so forth. We can show the featured image. The featured image is this image right here. Now if we click no, you'll see what happens. Notice the image has disappeared. Personally, I like seeing the image, so I like having it turned on. We also have other settings that we can change, such as the Read More button. Now, when we click the Read More button, what happens is this section here, this Read More, disappears. So if I click that, you will see that Read More has disappeared. But Read More is kind of a nice thing to have on there. So we'll click it again. The only buttons I might want to disable myself would be possibly like Show the Editor, Show the Date, Show Categories, and Show Comment Count. Those could be disabled and it really wouldn't bother anyone. But some do want to know who the author was for the page. They probably want to know when the date was and the category and also the comment count. So if you're like that, then just keep them all checked. We continue to go down, we get to see that there's a section here that's called Featured Image Overlay. If we click it to be on, you'll see what the change is. When you scroll over the image, an overlay occurs. You can also change the icon color along with the overlay color. You can change to the little icons. So if we click this icon here, you'll see on the image, on the overlay, that the icon has changed. Okay, so since we've actually selected the overlay color, the hover overlay color, and we have selected the different settings that we'd like to have on this blog post, what we'll do is we'll click the check mark and save changes. Now we're going to go down to the three dots, expand settings, and then save the page. And once the check mark shows up, we know that this page has been saved. Now that you know how to make these edits using the Visual Builder, let me show you how to make the exact same edits using the dashboard. You can use either method for making your edits. It's just a matter of preference. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go up to Edit Page. We're going to go to the dashboard. As we scroll down, we're going to look for this section right here where it says Text and My Blog. So to be able to edit that header on my blog that we actually put there in that section, we're going to click on text. Notice this looks very similar to what we had, and here's this blog. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this to my blog, and then click Save and Exit. Now that is not saved. The edits here are not saved until you click Update. Just as a reminder, we're going to go to the My Blog module. We're going to click the three lines for module settings. Again, we see the grid layout, and then there's the full width, but we'll keep it on grid. We could have different numbers of posts actually showing up on this page. So if we want to have a grid of 3, that'll be 3 across. Also, if we want to have it as 2 rows, so you'll be changing this post number to 6. Again, we have include categories and the other settings, the different buttons that we had selected previously. What we might want to do here though, we'll change this red background color to something else. Let's change it to, say for instance, orange. Okay, so now we have an orange color. Okay, now let's select an icon. Oh, which icon should we use? Oh, let's use this one here, little page icon. All right then, once we've completed all the settings, now what we're going to do is we're going to click Save and Exit. And once we've saved that, we'll go to the Update button here because we want to save all the settings. So let's click Update. Now once the page has saved and reloaded, let's go to the permalink